What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we are looking at the last Premier Spring Group 2. So what we have here is three groups, double elimination style, and it's only for a group stage. Doesn't take into account how they do in the next stage, which will probably have its own fantasy stuff. Easily, I think the best strategy is to go again 2-1, as I pretty much always go like two players from one team, players from another, one from a third, and with it being three groups, I would suggest just go with three teams from three different groups for the maximum potential for points. Let's go group by group. First group, I think G2 is favored against complexity quite heavily. NIP Big is actually pretty close. I probably think Big is a bit better with the addition of Faven, with NIP playing with the standing instead of the Vice. I think it's confirmed to beat Fozy again, as he played before as well and did quite well. But I think Group A, the clear favorites are G2 and some upset potential to go through is also Big. I would say Big is the second favorite in this one. Group B, probably the easiest one to predict for anyone following lately. Navi definitely the strongest out of the teams. I don't think MIBR stand a chance really. It's tough to say where this new OG is gonna be because it's their first official with Nexa instead of Alexi B. And then Astralis is like, they've had their troubles. I think they got eliminated out of FunSpark pretty early. They won like one series and then lost two. So they're not at their strongest yet, but I think they have potential to be a lot better as well if config, especially like config, starts playing a bit better. Then Group C is very open, I feel, in terms that it could be Vitality doing very well, but how will Magisk and Dupree do? How much does the addition of Zonic affect the team? Are they gonna really do well at the start already, or are they gonna take a while to get started? It's tough to say. E.g. the new lineup. So difficult to say where EG stand as well. I think they shouldn't beat Vitality, but I think there's some upset potential. Then FaZe definitely should beat Liquid, I think, especially with having just one clear upgrade in addition, like having Ropt instead of Olaf is, I would say, just a clear improvement of an already decent squad that now might even be able to put some trophies. And then Liquid is, it's tough to say where these NA teams stand, but I think Liquid is probably not quite ready yet to damage it at this level. Yeah, pretty fast rundown of some of the teams and what I expect of them. Let's start with Na'Vi. So I want to go Na'Vi. I think everyone can be made a case for instead of Simple here. I wouldn't pick Simple. Mostly because I think Simple usually, when they play against a bit of a lower tier, he doesn't really do especially well against the lower tier opposition. He just does well, like Simple level stuff, but he doesn't usually have these crazy pop-off tournaments. And usually it's just the other players stepping up to the plate. So the kill distribution is a bit more equal, and that's why I would usually go for the cheap players like Boomich, maybe Perfecto. But I probably want to go Bit instead. He's just been so insane lately, and of course easy headshot percentage player as well if I want to go for that. So probably Bit and Boomich or Perfecto. Electronic is not a bad shout either. I could see myself going for him as well, but probably just a bit too expensive. Then in the first group, I probably want to go for G. I could see myself going for some big players if budget becomes an issue, because they are a lot cheaper except for Faven, who I probably wouldn't go for. maybe I could see myself going for Searson, Hubson, Keto, Kitizian, all makes sense. And then we have the last group as well. I guess FaZe is who I would want to pick from here the most. It's just a very, very good squad now with 4 really good players and Carrigan as the IGL. Vitality, I feel hesitant towards because I don't know how well they'll do. It could just be that they make it out of it easily, beat everyone. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised by that with the quality of players they have, but yeah, if it ends up being Vitality facing this upper final, I would not be surprised by either result. So I think because Group C is the like the least predictable, most unpredictable, I probably only want to go for one player out of that group, and then that means Navi and then G2 are big. Let's start throwing some players on the board. So if I want to go for Bit Boomage, for example, who do I want to go from G2? Like go with from G2. I think it's not Alexi B. I think he's probably gonna, like, if I had to make a prediction, I would say Alexi B is probably gonna have a pretty bad event in terms of stats. It's hard for an IGL to come into a new start doing stuff. I think it's I wouldn't expect him to do that well stats wise at least. Maybe he's gonna be good at calling though. And if I want to go for the budget option, I think Jax is honestly a very decent pick. I think he's among the most picked players. Yeah, Bit Boomage Jax. Well, that's the players I've picked already. Who else is actually most picked? Like people like Alexi, but I think this is bait. Hunter makes a lot of sense. Simple is, with Rush Simple you make a lot of lineups, right? And then Perfecto makes sense as well. But yeah, Jax. Can we fit in Nico? With Tizian or Rush, of course. Yeah, Rush is like the ultimate budget option. But I don't want to go for Rush. I don't think I want to go for Tizian because they are in the same group. Navi. I don't think I necessarily want to go for Nico either. Like, I don't think he's gonna, at his first event, do quite this well at 1.31 rating with a new IGL. But I could see like Hunter doing a bit better, cutting some of the like doing some roles better. So if I go for him, we still 212k in the bank. I think that means we could get anyone from FaZe, even Rops. Rops is a big gamble because he really slots in very naturally into the FaZe lineup instead of Olaf. But we have some glaring problems with this is of course the lack of an AWPer. In that term, like those terms, Brokey is just better. If I go for Perfecto instead of Boomage, can we still get Brokey? Not quite. For like what, 3 grand off, yeah. It is a bit interesting because I would like an AWPer. If I wanted to, I could go non-G2. Take a look at some non-G2. Like if I go Searson and I go Thompson, I can get any. Actually, only 199 grand. So from FaZe, for example, we get Rain for entry, I guess. Not too bad. But I think I want to have faith in G2's players just being thin enough to do well. This could be. And with Robs, I think you just pick Robs and say goodbye to the AWPer, because like the problem here is that Navi and G2's AWPers are just incredibly expensive. Like especially m0NESY, of course, right? You won't buy him for that price, and Simple, not looking that hot. Like I guess you could do You can even get bit. You go like perfecto. Really? You can't get. No, you can't get rush. No, I'm not liking that. Honestly, this could be lineup. Kind of counterintuitive putting so much money into the least predictable. Rob's under Carrigan. How bad can he? Can we pick someone else from G? Like Alexi is like the only one could even put. No wait. What was the what's the problem with Gosh, no money for anyone, right? Yeah, only for Tizian or Rush. We go Rush. Can we get instead of these guys? Can we get someone instead of like Perfecto? Oh. This still leaves 5k in the bank, but it's really good. Some ways. Some ways it's really, really good. But I don't think Rush is the play here. I think this is probably the line I want to go for with Rops. I was also looking at the option of going for like a liquid gamble because these players are. Look at that price. What the hell is this supposed to be with the price? On Elysian Nav. I'll make the colors. I don't think I want to go for like complexity players. It's just too much change inside the liquid camp, I feel, for me to go for liquid and have any faith in them doing well. Yeah, I don't think I go for OG. With like they have, I think they're gonna suffer more from the change in IGL. I think LXCB is just the stronger IGL. You could almost go twists instead of Rops if you wanted to. It's like the more how do you say, it's a more safe pick in some ways. But then there's like we need to have like 3 super high headshot players, like all the headshot percentage guys on the same team. I don't know about that one either. Man, if Brokey fit in more naturally. Can't get Brokey with this. Yeah, I can't. Which is decent. I don't want to go for Brokey instead of Rops, never, I don't think. It's something I always kind of feel like I should maybe consider more, is like, are there scenarios where you just shouldn't use all your money, even if you can? Like, is Brokey just a better pick instead of Rops here, even though, like, price-wise, Rops is more expensive? Thus, based on stats, should do kind of better, but especially once someone like Rops has gotten into a new team, maybe it's tough to say, right? Let's see how it works role-wise if I go with Rops. By team, most obvious headshot percentage. Unless I want to go jacks with headshots, that can be a thing. Then something else in a bit. I think Boomage is the most obvious IGL. Unless it just doesn't. Okay. What would we say is best for Rops? Be actually kind of decent, but role-wise might not do that as much for FaZe. Fragger makes sense. Yeah. Probably gonna end up being multi. So what else is Pete good at as for headshots? Here makes. it's so good all around. Like I could pick almost any of these, or like op, or I think defender's probably best though, unless like what is it's kind of weird role wise, definitely. Maybe Hunter should be CT. Probably Hunter. It's like only good for headshots, right? Actually decent 4th round percent. Very deep. Probably support Jax then, right? Like we should maybe expect him to do more supporty stuff. Like I don't know. Very hard to say. There's a lot like you can do with this these roles at the end. I think multifragger and leader should always be on these guys if you go for this lineup. Maybe you just go bit headshots and then Jax port. Then Hunter with CT. Yeah. Okay, I think this makes the most sense. It's tough with, especially it always becomes tough when you don't have an operand. Because you would like to have someone with the op role, but I want to try this out. I feel like it's pretty obvious that these, of course, look, it's DS, anything can happen, but they are the favorites, and then I would say this is like the most gambly pick, but how bad can Robs really any team? He's mechanically gifted. But okay, versus MIBR. So top of scorecard, probably not, right? Props more often. Hard to say, right? Because he's just changed teams, but oh, Hunter's actually better pistol. I guess it's always the problem with its best pistol round, and then someone like Simple is on your teams. Yes, Hunter has Nico, but KST is one that I like to use against these weaker teams. Should work out the best here. Also like quote unquote weaker team in like city, I guess you want to do against them 30 bomb also is kind of bait against a lot of the time 30 bombs are with like longer game. So if overtime, for example, you have higher chance of getting a 30 bomb. But if it's like a 16-0, it's very hard to get 30 kills in. Clutch. Like ace is something you can do against these weaker guys sometimes. Best pistol round is pretty safe. I think we go for that. Jax. Jax actually has pretty high ace percentage. I don't know if he's gonna do too well on any of these. He has a pretty nice save percentage. That. Of course, headshots is just anyone, any stage. You can go for the ace. Also, of course, yeah, we should check. Best case scenario, how many we get to put on? Or 6, 12, 15. So 2 of them, even in the best case, don't get used. Which means we probably don't want Rambo or what else is not very good? Like I guess Ace is actually. Don't go for Ace then. Or is Flash actually worse? No, Flash is decent. You can actually put Flash Boom. What else is like not good players? Joke is decent. Grenade is kind of trash here, but I guess ace is even worse. Very nice. Knife and ace is off the table, I would say. Yeah. Okay, so we don't go ace. Instead we go for this Rambo. Fine. Need to use stuff on Jackson. You can do this against a better opponent, and then drops. I guess I should check actually. Like, Jax is gonna have bottom of scorecard eventually. Jax is gonna have saver, I guess. Jax is gonna have. Ace was not it. You can put this on anyone. Yeah, it's fine to have this. No, wait, are we supposed to not have Rambo? Oh, this gets so confusing. We shouldn't use this or this. So let's just go for this then. And then multi-fragger. Multi-fragger ops. This is the hardest one to boosters on. You just throw some stuff on him that might work out. Top of scorecard. It's fine. Yeah, you know what? We can probably go for that. Top of scorecard against Liquid. Sure. Okay. I see it. Yeah, thanks guys for watching, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next